everybody, this is Nikki from the design team. You can find me on social media at Nikki Hearts Cards, and today we are going to get in the spirit of this holiday. So we're having a big sale at Honeybee, and I've got to show you this new paper. We've had it before, but this is my first time ever getting to use it, and I love this crepe paper. So I'm going to show you how to use it. We're going to make a really cool July the 4th bunting card, and the way I made this card was more like a thank you to veterans. So if you tend to donate cards or you know some veterans, this would work perfectly. So we're going to start with the new Lovely Layers bunting dies, and I am going to create 2 different sizes. So I'm going to use 5 of the dies for one of my Lovely Layer sets, and then I'm going to use 3 for the other piece of bunting. So I'm going to set these aside in order just so that I can make sure that I cut out the right colors for these. Now we're going to die cut with that crepe paper, but I'm going to back that paper with some white cardstock. And the reason is because it does make it a little more stiff and it just makes it easier to die cut. So I'm going to use some double-sided adhesive on strips of white paper, and then let me show you how I apply the crepe paper. I remove the adhesive backing, and then I'm going to lay this piece down, and we're going to grab some crepe paper and press it on. You can use glue, but if you use too much glue, you can see it through the crepe paper, and I just didn't like the look as well. I actually tried it. This is way easier, so I'm just going to apply this, make sure it's adhered, and then I'm going to cut it. So look at how beautiful this dimension is. We're just going to cut along this line so we can send it through the die cutting machine. So this was very easy to cut just with your scissors, and I'm trying not to waste any of it because it's just so beautiful. So I created these strips, and now we're going to start cutting out the pieces that are going to be blue. My first color is blue, and then once it's cut out, do you see all that? Zoom in right here. Look at that. You can see all the dimension that the Lovely Layers provide. So you've got the crepe paper, which has dimension, and then you also have the dies that create impressions in that crepe paper and create amazing dimension. So let's make our layers here, and then we will talk about the rest of the card. So this pack of paper is Americana crepe paper, so it comes in an off-white, a white, a red, and a blue. I felt like when you're doing bunting, and I noticed this when I was looking around, at first I decided I was going to do like red, blue, or blue, red, white, and then repeat the pattern. But what I realized on actual bunting is that adding a white layer in between each color really made it look better. And if you keep those dies in order, you can go and grab a couple of them at a time because you know what color your red layer is going to be. So I'm going to finish die cutting this, and then let's look at what our final results look like. So I repeated the same process with the red and white crepe paper. I cut out a strip of white cardstock, added double-sided adhesive, and then placed the piece on there. And now I'm going to cut these pieces. So this is a Lovely Layers assembly project. So you're definitely going to need to do some die cutting, but man, the results are outstanding. You do need more white than you do of the other colors, so just remember that when you're making your pieces. Now remember I said to keep your dies in order. It's so that you can set these up and just make your assembly easier. So here it is, blue, white, red, white, blue. Okay, that's the big one. We're going to need 2 of those, and we're going to need 4 of our smaller versions. So just going to have to do some serious die cutting, but it's going to look amazing. And I used glue to assemble mine, so you could use, I think that it'd be perfectly fine just to do double-sided adhesive. I just like the freedom of being able to move my piece around if I'm using glue. It does take a little extra effort to stick it to this crepe paper, so you do need to hold some pressure. You'll see me just kind of holding it on for a minute, but once you give it that minute of time that it just needs to settle in, it stays fine. I would also say a pair of tweezers are a must. And then when you're assembling these, they do have a flat edge at the top, which makes it really easy to make sure everything's lined up. Just make sure it's lined up to that edge so you don't have any gaps, and it's going to look beautiful. Now, like I said, this is a bunting and we're doing July the 4th, but if you have not seen my live using these same dies with different colors of crepe paper, then make sure you check that out on my channel too. And if you haven't done it yet, hit the like and subscribe here. That would be great, and it would just make my day. Okay, one more piece for this one, and look at how gorgeous it looks. I do love the white in between, and when I did this in different colors, I made sure I had a light color in between my colors. It just makes it look so amazing. But you could do this in colors to create a birthday card, all kinds of things. So I'm going to finish assembling, and we're going to work on our background. Check out all this detail just by using crepe paper. I love it when I don't have to color and everything looks like it has so much dimension. It's just amazing. So for our background, we are going to add a little bit of color. I tried it on white and it just looks better contrasted with a light blue. I'm just coloring the entire panel in tumbled glass. It's a distressed oxide, which means it is reactive to water if you want to put some splatters or anything else on it. I wanted to make my edges just a little bit darker blue, so I did go back in with some salty ocean and just add it to the edges. Next, since this card is all about texture, I ran it through with an embossing folder. I used the burlap folder from Honeybee Stamps, and look at how beautiful it turned out. Let's put together our small bunting. These only have 3 pieces, and we need 4 of them to fill up both sides of the card. So just need to glue them together, and then we've got 2 of our large ones. I'm doing my card horizontally. You could try doing this a different way. It just fit really nicely this way. So I'm going to do bunting from the top and the bottom. That's why we made 4 small and 2 large of the buntings. And when I'm trying to figure out what sentiment to use, I like to lay out my card so that I can see what fits. I knew that I didn't have anything specifically for the 4th of July, but I had just finished making tons of masculine cards for a veterans home recently and realized how much they need cards. And so I am going to make this as a thankful for your service type of card. And I'm just going to use what I have. This thankful die is from a fall Thanksgiving set with Honeybee. I will list it in the description for you. And I knew I was going to back this card with a black mat. And I don't know if you already do this, but a lot of my black mats, I'll make sure that I cut out of the center of them so that I'm not wasting that black paper. So I'm going to cut Thankful out of the back mat 3 times. We'll cover up all those with the front piece. I did add a little bit of white acrylic paint to this one. I just wanted to do some little drops. I loved how the white looked on the bunting, and I thought it'd be nice to kind of follow it through on this panel. I glued all 3 of the Thankfuls together, and I used this little tool to make sure there wasn't any glue seeping out and an acrylic block to hold it down. I did a quick stamp of "For You" because the card is going to say "Thankful for You." Now, one problem that I have all the time is when I glue this panel, I forget that there's a missing part on the back, and so I get glue on my mat. So just remember, if you've got open holes there and you're gluing, that it's going to come through, or sometimes I'll get the card stuck to something. So the way that I solve this is by adding something to cover up those holes. Usually I use some type of tape. So today I'm going to use some blue painter's tape. Now all that's left to do is to add the sentiment. So we're going to add thankful and the "For You," and then I'm going to throw a few little gems. I used the light blue gem stickers, and look at how it does. I did a little creative filming here because I wanted you to be able to see how much this sticks up off the card. It's just so gorgeous. I really love it. I hope that you had so much fun making this card with me. Tell somebody you're thankful today for their service, and I hope all of you have a great, safe holiday. Have lots of fun crafting. Make sure that you follow the links in the description to the sale. Honeybee is having a sale, and I'd love for you to use my affiliate link. Have a great day. Hit like, subscribe, and here's some more things you might be interested in. Bye.